Hi. So I have a question here from Pratech0707. How can I grow a boring niche blog? I'll read you the question. I have an economics blog that I started back in 2011 as a hobby. I don't post as often anymore, but I keep updating and replenishing old content. I'm pretty hands-on with SEO, so I don't see that as a problem. In 2017 so far, I've gotten over or about 700,000 visitors. About 75% is organic traffic, and I think 80% is desktop traffic. I ran a poll on the site to ask people if they would buy an ebook. Overwhelmingly, people said no because they don't have money. I assume my demographic are students. Monetizing strategy used. I mainly monetize through AdSense. I'm going to be in the very low 4-digit as part of revenue. Amazon affiliate. I've maybe linked 3 or 4 links. I haven't created content especially for affiliate money. Practically zero here. I've recently added Kingsta, an affiliate, in the sidebar. I've gotten approval from TransferWire. Kingsta, basically, I really like the service and pay out well. I was planning to create content around TransferWire since it is relevant to my niche. I'd like to do a lot better in 2018's go from low 4-digit revenue to high 4 digits. Any suggestions how? So this is a very good question. First off, it sounds like you're doing pretty well. You have a great audience. And it might be a boring niche, but you can always find something passionate about it. So I'll say that. So one thing that first caught my attention was you did a survey and you asked people if they would buy a product. So this is a bad question. Everyone asks it. I used to ask it all the time, and I stopped because no one will answer you correctly. You will always get a false response to that question is, will you buy this? Because your friends will always say, yeah, sure, I'll buy it, and they won't actually buy it. And then people you don't know, they're like, no, I'm not going to buy that. But if you actually made it, and you made it to something that they would like, they would buy it. So from that area, there's 2 ways to approach it. One is going after your current audience, which we'll assume is students, college students. What's a product that they have to buy, that they would look at it and say, I need that? So some of the ideas I was thinking of, or just as an example, is a few years ago, astronauts was a big thing. It was in ads, it was in the public psyche about astronauts, how we're going to Mars and all these things. So that's just an example. Another one is zombies. Lots of people are into zombies or mermaids. Pick a trend like that and do an economics book that looks at crazy things like that, the economics of being an astronaut, or going to Mars, or working on Mars, or the economics of zombies, or what economy of mermaids would be like. Or you do a whole book on different scenarios like that, and like do a page for each, and maybe a little drawing or something. That would be so cool. I would buy that. That would be such a cool book that people would have to buy it because it would be so interesting. Be so intriguing that people would have to buy it. That's one approach. Second approach is to look at other members of your audience who aren't students and expand on that audience and find out what they want. So maybe you have students, but maybe also have 30-year-old professionals who don't have kids and just read your website after they come home from work, let's say. So I'm just throwing that out. So if you found that, then what do they want? Well, maybe they want to know more about how the economy affects their job, or how they can use trends in the economy to benefit them. That's just an example. So find out who other members of your audience are. You can have multiple audiences and write a content for them that they would want, that they would pay for, because they would be more likely to pay for it than students. Next thing is that turn your content from written content into another format. So you could take your content and turn it into a blog. Sorry, you're already a blog. Turn it into a podcast, or you can make videos. Or this I think would go really well, is you could turn it into an e-course. If they're already students, what if you sold it as an e-course, like getting an A in economics, or the class to take before your class to do really well in economics to be successful. Those are just some examples. So think about another format that you could go into that you could get paid for. You mentioned affiliate marketing. I've dabbled in affiliate marketing. The key I've found is, one, making content relevant to your audience, and two is making a blog article that is just about affiliate marketing. Make it sure it's clear this is an affiliate marketing post. You're actually required to do that in the US. What I do is I make sure that it's a product that I use or I would use, that has very good reviews, that there's no danger issues, that it's a safe product to use, something you trust. So then find those items, make sure it's very valuable to your audience. It's either really cheap and useful or more expensive but very useful, and make a list. And it could be 7 items to get an A in economics, for example, or something along that line, or how to study in college or something like that if most of your audience is students. Going along with that, you could also develop a physical product. You could go on to Alibaba Express, buy a couple things, make it into a kit, and those things could be a study kit. If most of your audience is students, it could be a study kit. For economics, you can make flashcards, you can make review books, think along those lines. Okay, so I've given you a lot of ideas. That was just a brain dump of my ideas. Evaluate those. What I typically do is I make a spreadsheet of all of the ideas I just gave you. Then choose how much you would want to work on it, how much money you could earn, and then how much money you could earn in the future, maybe 1 year or 10 years. Evaluate and then also how much time it would take. Those are some questions I ask myself. Evaluate it, choose one of them, focus on that one. Don't do all of these. Don't do a podcast and affiliate marketing and an e-course. Don't do that. Pick one and go with it, because that is probably how you're going to be successful. And good luck.